How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Fourever Arsenal podcast. Another one after a win, 3 points in the bag. And what a game it was, actually. 4-2 win at the Emirates against the Leicester side, who come back from 2 goals down in the first half. I'm back with the usual Jordan, James, and Lee to discuss it. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. All of that good stuff. Big up everyone that's taking part in the Fourever Predictor on the AFTV Plus app. More to follow on that. Make sure you go download the app if you haven't already, people, and join us in the predictions every week for every Arsenal game this season. How are we feeling? Lee's got his tea ready. Jordan, James?
Fine.
All good, sir. All good.
Yeah. All good.
Yeah, usually there's more energy after a win, but all right, let's get it. 8 a.m. innit? What can we do?
Well, no, I think like it was a great, don't get me wrong, great win yesterday, but lots of calls for concerns, worry for me. But at the end of the day, you're right what you say there. It turned into like a routine, boring half time. I was a little bit bored at half time. We was not this is a bit, nothing going. They really weren't giving nothing. So a second half that was manic, and like, can I dare say it? That I got my money's worth yesterday. Really, it was from an entertainment value. But I'd rather not have the entertainment value. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel about this. Can I ask just one question? I went to the game and full of confidence, going to win it, everything like that. And then I found out the result of the Newcastle Man City game. I got nervous. I don't know if you guys felt that, or maybe that got into the players. I don't know, but I did feel that.
Slipping up when they've slipped up, you mean?
Yeah, I thought it's going to be a breeze and all that, and then all of a sudden, I got a bit anxious. I can't explain what I did. Going into the ground, I thought, I got anxious. Totally eased at 2-0, but I don't want to go through like that, through games like that for another year, boys. I really can't take it. I really can't take it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it wasn't that bad. I mean, the goals we conceded, yeah. I mean, obviously defensive lapse with the first one, and the second one was a worldie. But there are, there are concerns there. I think James mentioned it yesterday in terms of I don't know, the lack of real changes in the second half to have an impact on changing the game a little bit. Obviously, Nwanyeri comes on later on, but let's start from the beginning as we usually do, and then get into it all, because it is 3 points. Man City did drop points this weekend away to Newcastle, so if we're going up against a team we've been going up against the last 2 years for this Premier League title race, it's been a good weekend for us. So we're doing, Jordan, let's start with you this time, because Lee's crumbling there, anxious, and
I mean, I'm probably going to be closer to Lee's view than everybody else's. Look, it's 3 points. And I did say on the pod last week that I don't think we should be looking at Manchester City. We just got to focus on putting a run together ourselves, these next 5 or 6 league games, which are on paper quite nice. But I think simultaneously, if City are not going to drop a lot of points, so when they do, we've got to capitalize, especially when it's at home against a team that's been promoted. And to be 2-0 up at home to a promoted team and concede a 2-goal lead for me is not good. I think we've all shared concerns about our defensive record at home. Even last year when we were doing well, winning games, I was never really convinced that our home record, I never felt like Emirates was like a fortress, in the sense that teams would come there and genuinely be scared, genuinely be worried about how they're going to score. They might lose, but they knew they could get a chance. I think actually now teams are more fearful of Arsenal when we go to them. I think when we go to their stadiums, I think they're more worried about us. I think they're a bigger threat for some reasons away from home than we are at home. So to concede 2 goals to Leicester at home, I think is poor. I mean, James, in a minute, I'm sure will break down his theory as to why the 2 halves were so different. But my kind of overall view is that it's 3 points. We're joint top. Let's go on a run now. But there's definitely concerns in regards to our home record that have to be improved and improved quickly. I've got some individual points on some players that are flagged, but those are my overall thoughts. Good 3 points, but yeah, I'm not as buoyant as I think most Arsenal fans are today.
James, similar for you, isn't it?
I thought we were great.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Guys, that was a 6-0 for me. I thought the performance was a 6-0. I think we battered them. I think there's real concerns about the concentration levels and I think complacency we showed for the first 20 minutes of the second half. What's unfortunate, though, is that amounted to one of the greatest strikes you're going to see all season and a deflected effort ending up in the back of our own net. Not to say we couldn't have done things better. I don't think we defended that set piece well enough. And I don't think Partey does enough to stop the cross and Calafiori knows what's behind him. But at the same time, I think those strikes end up in the back of the net once every 10 efforts. So I think to a degree, we were a touch unfortunate to be back at 2-2. First half, we were killing them. That's first half. I think the first 10 minutes, to be fair, after Calafiori made the block from James Justin, then we kind of got into our football. But then the chances, people, second half, Trossard hits the post. Havertz, who I actually think does brilliantly from the effort, and then some might say he should score, but his back's to goal. I think more credit to the keeper for that. Calafiori had go straight over. Nwanyeri comes on, and his shot from distance was well saved. And there were 3-4 others. I mean, even when I was watching about the highlights, I was like, I forgot about the Gabriel header. Kind of immediately when it went back to 2-1, he had a good header stopped. So I think we were well worthy of the win. The problem is that because we were 2-0 up, it's never a good look when you're playing against Leicester, who haven't looked good, to kind of throw away that lead. It's so funny. The timings of goals can sort of greatly impact the way the performance is viewed. If we conceded that goal to Man City last week in the 68th minute and held on to a 2-2, we're feeling great about that point, a lot better than we did because of the timing of their equaliser. Likewise, if we'd got our third and fourth goals in the 72nd and 81st minute, we're probably feeling very differently now because we had to, it was at the very end where, again, a bit of luck, a deflection took into the back of the net. We go 3-2 up. It kind of feels like relief more than anything. But I thought we were well valued for those 3 points. That's actually not taking anything away from Leicester. I thought second half Leicester tried to press us and have a real go and then defended their box pretty well. But the chances were there. I think it would have been criminal if we didn't win that game of football because for me, we did enough to. That's not to say, like I said, that I don't have concerns about certain elements, but I don't want to take away from the fact that I think we did deserve it.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a... Sorry, Toes. I don't think it was a lucky win. I want to be clear that I don't think it was fortunate. We deserved to win the game. Yeah, the better team won the match. It wasn't like a 4-2, but we kind of got a bit. No, we deserved to win that match.
Yeah.
We were the better team, but there are concerns.
Yeah, we'll get into them. What do you think, Turkish?
I'm happy. I mean, I'm not happy about conceding 2, but I mean, there were reasons behind the 2, and to be honest with you, in that 5-minute period before their second goal, I think it looked like they was creeping back into the game, and we didn't do anything about it. I think Buonanotte had a couple openings that he might have done better with before Justin's volley, and what a goal that was. So it was it was just about getting. After that start to the second half, it was just about getting the win. That's all it was about. Yeah. And it did feel like, we was lacking the options to change the game. But Nwanyeri is the one that come up trumps. And listen, 4-2 win. I think we've become somewhat accustomed to clean sheets and that's the standard. So obviously 4-2 it sounds quite messy. And it was quite messy, but you're going to have many messy wins and messy draws throughout a title winning season. That that's part and parcel of it. So I'm not too disheartened by it. I think just we got the job done. I mean, we're going to go into individual players and all. I think let's see if we start first half. I think Martinelli goal and assist for him, that was positive. Calafiori, I think a lot of positives, maybe a couple negatives, concerns. But who should we start on first half?
I think Martinelli is a good place to start. I thought he was the story of the first half.
Yeah.
Because when he missed that chance that he sent over the bar, a lot of people were disappointed on the watch along. Honestly, and I can say it because it's all there on the recording, like my instinct was he'll score today, because Martinelli's problem, I don't think, is he's not a bad finisher. I think the question is, how many chances was he getting in previous games as well? We can talk about his touchline wing play, beating the man and all that. But in terms of sort of pure output, he wasn't getting into attacking areas enough and having moments enough where he felt he could be dangerous, hurt the opposition. In the Leicester game, the way they were defending, the way he kind of was finding space to get shots away, I thought one of them's going to end up in the back of the net, because he does have an instinct for it. He can sort of sniff where a chance is going to be, where the ball's going to fall. He missed that chance. I think he does really well on the goal, people. I mean, some said it's a little bit of a scuffed effort, but he's kind of moving away from goal to redirect it back into the corner. I think he does well, and then he gets the assist. He could have had another goal as well. I definitely think he looked more dangerous, more electric, and we are playing one of the worst sides in the Premier League. I think it is worth saying that. But still, he had to do his job. I thought he did it. And it was good to see that. It was good to see Arteta kind of keep the faith with him because of the work he's put in previous games, putting real shifts in. And this one, I think he was getting some rhythm back going forward again. It was good.
Pressure on him. There was pressure on him, Turkish. Pressure on him in that game to perform. We was all doing that. And I think the interesting point for me was the first one he misses, the target. When he scores, the next chance is very, very similar. What's he do? He hits the target, makes the goalkeeper make a save. I just think he needed a goal. And top level confidence. He just needed that confidence, a shot in the arm of a goal. Once he got that goal, his confidence was there. And I thought it was a good performance from him in the first half, particularly when we needed it, when we was in control. And he was the sort of outlet, if you look at it, very, very doubled up, sometimes trebled up on Saka, if I'll be honest. So someone's got to have the space. Somewhere along there in that front line, someone's got to have the space. And if you're going to allow Martinelli to have that space, then he has to punish teams. And he done it yesterday. So I was pleased with his performance yesterday.
Yeah, I think when you go on a run like he's gone on, many times over the years, you've seen players break that barren spell with a goal like that, because it was a bit scuffed. I think those types of ones have to be scuffed to find the corner like that, because like James said, it's a bit behind him, and he has to get around it a little bit. So it's just any which way you get it in, really. Similar to Sterling the game before, it lands to him right in front of goal with no one in goal. Put it in the net. For me, once you're going through a spell like Martinelli's gone through, you could kind of see when he scored the goal what it meant to him. Even the assist, let's not forget that, because you mentioned the other chance he had, and that was a good save from Hermanson. That was probably the first save of a number of good saves, great saves throughout the game from him. But then the assist, I like the assist too, because it looked like the pass was Timber running into the box, but he gave a bit more fizz on it, letting Timber know, let this one go past you because Trossard's behind you. And he buried them. 1 goal, 1 assist in the first 45 minutes in comparison to the previous however many games it was. Very good 45 minutes. And he just started feeling more like a threat throughout that first half.
Yeah, he did.
I'm with James. It did feel like he was going to score, even though I was frustrated with that miss, because I was thinking those are the ones you need to be burying. I thought, he started the game well, so he's going to get something out of it.
I feel like I've been probably the hardest on Martinelli. So, to be fair, I thought he was very, very good in that first half, and that's what I want to see. I think there's more from him. I don't think that's even like Martinelli's. Like, he wasn't at his best, but he was very, very good. And I agree with you, Turkish. I thought the assist was more impressive than the actual goal. The goal was a good goal, and you get them how you get them. But the way he's kind of punched it into Trossard. I liked that assist. It wasn't just a kind of like a pass. There was a real intent behind the delivery there, and that Trossard goal reminded me of the goal he scored against Everton at Goodison last year or the year before.
Yeah,
he opened up his body. It was the other side though. He opened up his body and kind of half sliced it almost. First time. He's a really good finisher, Trossard. Really good finisher. So yeah, big up Martinelli. Big
Did you see Trossard? Did you see Trossard pretending he faked booting the ball and then looked at the ref?
Yeah, I did see that after. Yeah, I saw that.
When was that?
I think it was the first half. The ref gave something, and Trossard pretended to just run and boot the ball. Then he stopped and just looked to the ref like this.
What did the ref know? Did the ref react?
I think you just found it. I don't know. I think you just found it funny. I don't. Yeah.
Well, you should hope so. Like at least smile, break a smile, mate. You're not robots.
Yeah.
Should have booked him, to be fair.
Can I talk? Can we talk about Trossard? Because you know, I don't know what to make of him at times. You know what I mean? Like, there are times where I think, like, are you in this game and all that? And he pops up with so many important goals and finishes. He was unlucky when he hit the post. He gets the you know, like the one on the back post for the goal. He's on the periphery of the game at times, but he's on the end of big moments, isn't he? Like he's a, you know, I can't.
Sylvan Wiltord. He's Sylvan Wiltord. Gets those big goals. Not really involved much. Doesn't do anything flashy, but he's there when it matters, Lee. He's there when it matters.
I have to say, he's there when it matters. You know what I mean? Like even that goal, I didn't even know that it was him that scored. You know, he's sort of playing popping up in different positions, isn't he, in the box? And you know, and when he gets his strike, and as you say, that first strike is a lovely, lovely finish, and he's so unlucky with the one that hits the post. It's an unbelievable strike. Yeah, but then there's bits of the game. He does lovely bits of skill. He's got a fantastic first touch, by the way. And then there's times when you think, where are you? Where, you know, we need you now. And he's not involved in the play so much. I see Havertz getting involved in the areas that he should be and whatever. And then all of a sudden he pops up for a goal, and you just think, wow, you know, I don't really know what his best position is, guys. And yeah, I'm sort of saying, like, we're all sitting on the coming home last night, you know, well, Nwanyeri's got to start. Well, who do you drop? And you're going, well, probably Trossard, but you can't drop Trossard. Do you know what I mean? It's a really unbelievable thing.
He ain't done enough, Lee, in number 10 for me to say that, though. Like, his position is...
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm exactly saying that.
I think his position is off the bench. I think his position is best seen, whether he's coming in on the left, on the 10, in the 9, as an impact player. And Wiltord is the best example for me. Because people, as soon as I say off the bench or impact player, they think it's disrespect. It's not. You need quality off the bench and people you can rely on off the bench to be able to win the major honours. So I think it's me saying he's the best 12th man in the league. You know, but then look at when Nwanyeri comes on, 5 minutes, and it's just very different. I mean, you know, that's not me saying he's better. Of course, he's got a higher ceiling when you look at his age and whatnot. But Trossard, I don't know, it's still lacking something.
It's a weird conversation, isn't it?
Yeah,
because we was having it last night. It's a weird conversation.
He deserves his spot, but he hasn't. Yeah, go on, James.
Yeah, I'm gonna to create Trossard. I'm going to mix two players, right? It's going to sound so weird, but hear me out. There's moments where he moves like Santi Cazorla. You know, that low center of gravity, that like sort of flicking the ball from one foot to the other, the twists, the turns. You think there's no space. He's found some. Where the number 19 helps, but there's just moments where he just looks a bit Santi Cazorla-ish. But then his kind of impact is more Theo Walcott. Not in terms of, he doesn't have that pace, but he won't control the game. He won't run the game. But then he'll be the one on the end of a big goal. He'll be the one who found the right pocket. He'll be the one that just got the finish. And you're like, you weren't winning us that game, but you just won us that game. I don't know how to explain it. I was never Theo Walcott's biggest fan, I'll be honest. You know, unbelievable pace, whatever. But can't deny he had some big goals and some big moments in an Arsenal shirt. There were, you know, he could smell where the ball was going to land. He put the ball in the back of the net on a big occasion every now and again. And Trossard's got that ability to, like you said, he wasn't running the show yesterday at all. But then goal, hit the post, basically, you know, makes the third one happen. And he's coming out as the match winner. I gave him a 9 out of 10 purely because of the moments, not because of his overall game. It's like, well done, Leo. It's really weird.
If I'll be really honest, it doesn't remind me of a play, but his finishing reminds me of Lundberg. Sort of that sort of person we were saying yesterday, but not as quick as Lundberg, not as, you know, in the same. But exactly what you're saying here, James, you know, we're coming home last night. Who's man of the match? Very difficult. But in the end, we've all gone Trossard. And then we're all sitting there and going like, it wasn't that great. But as you rightly said, the moments that matter have won us the game. So you have to give it to him, you know. And it is a weird situation.
Wiltord, Cazorla, Walcott, Lundberg hybrid.
Yeah, I don't know what it's I'll tell
A
you,
bit of Messi in there, but a bit
Seaman,
Bentner. You know, it's just.
I was going to add
it's
Arshavin.
a fascinating conversation.
Yes,
with
Arshavin. Yeah, yeah.
was-
There is bits of
Yeah.
Arshavin too. You're
Bit of
right.
Mesut Ozil
It's a
now.
fascinating. We had a fascinating conversation about him. We've
But
had
also a bit of
beers
Andy
and-
Carroll. Do you know what I mean? There's a bit of Andy Carroll about him as well.
Why not?
A
Yeah,
bit Tony
like,
Adams too.
you know, it's a fascinating conversation, like about him, like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you know, we were sort of saying we've got to get Nwanyeri in this team now, and who do you leave out? And you know, all of us in the end agreed that it should be Trossard, but we're all
No,
like, reluctant to say it.
But Lee, but why have we got to get Nwanyeri in the team? Do we have to get him in the team?
I
we
think
should
a certain
have
game
a
now.
good section.
A certain game.
on him.
Honestly, if he does not come on, and by the way, that was Arteta's only mistake yesterday. He should have brought him on a lot earlier. I know he's 70. He lit up the Emirates yesterday.
No doubt.
Bro. He energized a fan base that was down. I was just about losing my head with the game. You know what I mean? Like, you know, goalkeeper making fantastic saves. It's one of those games. This is going to cost us the league, this game and all that. He come on and he just, I can't explain how that Emirates crowd changed from one bit of magic from him. And I just think that he's something. He is the closest thing that we've got to Odegaard. That's my thing. Like, you know what I mean? We're going, we're missing Odegaard when we are. But then he come on and we didn't. No one in the crowd was going, "Oh, we're missing Odegaard." After that, I know I don't know, but I just think he was sensational when he come on.
I know it. I don't know.
Huh?
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, I missed that. He's also the closest thing we've got to Saka. I mean, that's quite scary when you're 17-year-olds. The closest thing you got to Saka around Odegaard.
Beats players with ease, James. Beats players with ease.
Yeah, they're both quite important players, so that's quite a good thing for him. Shall we start the Nwanyeri conversation now and then talk about the problems in the second half later? I mean, yeah, Nwanyeri is fantastic. It was a sub too late, 15 minutes too late for me.
Yeah.
I think about the 80th minute. I'm alluding to the first half problems, but let me really talk about them properly in a bit. But I thought Partey, who had a great first half, had a shocking second half. And the reality is he probably wasn't as good first half as I thought, and he probably wasn't as bad second half as I thought. But there was definitely a dip. So bringing him off to get on Nwanyeri and go Trossard, Rice, Nwanyeri was the obvious answer, especially because we were trying to deal with their counterattacks or not give him too much space either. Rice wasn't having a good game. And let's be real, hasn't had a great start to the season. I don't like the position that Rice is playing in. So Nwanyeri comes on and lit up the Emirates, just taking players on. He was doing that thing where defenders went, oh my word, we're scared to put a fit in on this guy because he'll drift past us. Everything from his dribbling, his passing, his shooting to his first touch was immaculate. That was a cameo beyond anything I expected from him. It really was. I didn't think he'd come on and just electrify everything. He just brought it to life. And it was captured in that first minute or two where he got the ball and just had a shot from distance. I feel like every other player was a bit nervous to do that because, you get it wrong and it's frustrating and you don't want to lose an attack. But I think he just thought, look, no one's getting on to me. I'm a 17-year-old. Let me show you what I'm about. Maybe he didn't even think that first, but he just went, I wanted to prove to you what I can do. And he forced a good effort. And after that, everyone sort of, well, I don't know if everyone came to life at the Emirates. Apparently the atmosphere was very good, but still, it helps, doesn't it? So, yeah, good on him. He was absolutely a catalyst for us. I mean, like I said, I think we were having chances anyway, but then there was definitely a bit where it fell flat. And the question is, are you going to really stick it on Leicester for the last 10, 17 minutes? And that's exactly what he did. So well done to him. That was brilliant. Real case for him to start. I think there is a real case.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked him to start this one, but then Trossard comes out and he pulls a good game out. Nwanyeri is different. I think every year you need to refresh the attack, and I know he's a midfielder, but he can play off the wings as well. But he is our refresher this season. We left ourselves short, and the other refresher does. I mean, he's not very refreshing at the moment if we're talking about Sterling. So Nwanyeri is the guy that we've got a bit of hope in. He's the one that's on the periphery. He's the young Haaland graduate. He's the one that's shown bits and bobs. And that cameo for me, I agree with you. Like 10, 15 minutes earlier, needed Partey lost control really. He didn't gain it in the second half, and it just became stale. At times I was thinking this attack needs something. we're having chances, but it's just not clinical. Trossard post, Havertz a couple of times ahead of here as well. But I always said I don't want to be in a situation where we're relying on a 17-year-old. And I wouldn't say it felt like we was relying on him yesterday, but when he came on and then had the impact he had, you can see how important having these options are. And I do think he does deserve a start. Probably not PSG. I'd say the next league game, I think, is Southampton. I think he should get that one, and Trossard remain for PSG, experience and whatnot, and try to get the job done. But listen, probably his best piece of action for Arsenal. We've seen him a few times, but that was probably his best piece of action, impact, great touches. I mean, we was talking about players earlier and whatnot, but when you look at Nwanyeri, I said it a week ago. I said he reminds me a mix of Odegaard and Smith Rowe a little bit in terms of how he receives the ball, how he turns on it, but he also can get into the box and be on the end of things. It's good to have. And long may it continue. 17 years of age. I just don't want the pressure to get too much, and us to over rely on him. As nice as it sounds, it's going to be a long season.
Just before John comes in, what I liked about the substitution was, as you said, there was something. I felt that it was an obvious substitution, bringing on Sterling for Martinelli. I thought like for like.
Mm-hmm.
He brought him on, and it just changed. He was completely different to what was on the pitch. Someone that was prepared to go past players. That they've got their shape and their block. And as James was right, that all of a sudden this kid come on and started taking them on and took them out of their block. Took them a little bit, flustered them a little bit, and. I just want to say you're right, James. The crowd were fantastic yesterday. They was never on the back and everything like that. It was a good atmosphere in there. But what it done is just give everybody a little bit of a lift, a hope, and you thought, yes, we are gonna get this goal. We're gonna get this goal, and I think that he done that. And for a substitute performance, he can't do no more to justify a start. I'm not saying he's going to get that start, but that's what you've got to continue to keep doing it. If I'm his dad or his mate now, do that again next time. You've got to force this manager to play you. And he's doing that. He in the end, he's going to force Arteta to say, do you know what, 17 or not, he's got to play.
And I know this might be premature, but we didn't see that cameo from Smith Rowe or Vieira last season. Is that a fair statement? And look, Smith Rowe's tearing it up at Fulham. Good on him. Like, really happy for him. I think there's a really good player in there. And Vieira, to be fair, I think when we were losing to Fulham 1-0 last season, we ended up drawing that game 2-2. But that was a really impressive cameo off the bench.
Yeah.
But we're talking that electricity, that, get the ball and run and, commit players and all that. There was something about, it's one game and it was Leicester and I hear it, but I could see why Arteta's maybe leaning to this guy to get more minutes in those creative spots of the team over perhaps others that were in the squad last season.
Spurs was a good cameo as well, James.
It was. You're right. And then Bolton, he played really well in as well. So we're starting to get a little pool of evidence there.
Off topic, then, just side. I know Jordan wants to come in, but it's on topic. But go on. Side note. Well, what's these links to Florian Wirtz this week? Because I'd say in terms of, we're talking about Nwanyeri, what he brings to the team and what, a lot of it we don't have. Wirtz is that kind of profile as well in terms of, so there was a lot of links this week. How serious were they, James? And how serious should we take them?
It did come from, I think he goes by the out of CF Bayern, Christian Falk. So, I mean, that's fairly reliable from the little I followed. And, he said that along with Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, which is good company to be in, right? We keep saying, why aren't we going for the players they want? And, Florian Wirtz is one of them. 150 million euros they want. Nice and reasonable. He being a right-footed creator, this is just me being weird now, but I do think it's nice to have a balance of a right and a left footer. I think you can play the Man City system of 6 years ago where they had De Bruyne and David Silva if you've got the right six there. And I think Declan Rice can be, certainly from a defensive cover perspective. So I see why there's room for both. I think even if Nwanyeri develops, watching Nwanyeri, you're trying to predict where his future is. if you told me in 3 years' time he's our starting 9, it wouldn't surprise me. If you told me he's our starting right winger and Saka's playing somewhere else in the team, it wouldn't surprise me. If you told me he's our starting 10 or left 8 or whatever, it wouldn't surprise me because he looks so capable of playing all those roles. So I think there probably is room for reverts because A, he's that good, and B, let's not hang our hats on a 17-year-old being the answer for the next 10 years quite yet, but there could be room for both in the squad.
Yeah, I completely agree there with the last sentence, especially Jordan.
Yeah, just a few points that I kind of noticed watching the match. First of all, I thought Calafiori was lucky to not get a second yellow. In fact, I think he should have been sent off, but he didn't get it. In fact, the other guy got the booking for showing for the yellow card.
Let's go back. Let's go. Okay, if we're gonna do this, the first yellow was nonsense.
Yeah, 100%.
There was a 5 minute
I'm trying to remember the first yellow.
He gave Skip a yellow.
Yeah, true. But he's on the yellow, so at that point, I thought he was fortunate. He's blatantly stopped the guy going through on the attack. I thought the first Arsenal goal, Saliba's fouled Vardy. He's fouled him. But I thought Leicester's first goal, which came from a free kick, was not a free kick. Yeah, I thought the referee got both those ones wrong. I thought he got both. I mean, who cares? Because they both ended up in goals for each team, right? But I thought the referee got both of those wrong. Saliba has fouled Vardy, and I thought I've forgotten who it was who was deemed to have fouled the Leicester player, but it's nowhere.
It was Vardy and Saliba again.
Yeah,
was them again? Yeah. I didn't think it was the correct decision there, and also the final thing was the Jesus. So I think for the fourth goal, I know Jesus is trying to get his goal right, and he's trying to get off the mark, and I get it. But it's a really poor decision. It's really greedy. There's 2 players in the box, like fully open. You're going away from goal. You've got 2 players closing you down, bro. You're not going to score that goal. Just square it. Look, I'm being picky here because the game is won at that point, but I just thought it was an example of really poor decision making from Jesus. There's 2 open players. Pass the ball, bro. Just pass the ball. We can wrap it up. We scored in the end, so it doesn't really matter. But margins, make the right decision, get the right outcome.
I don't want to make this a refs conversation because I think we've done obviously a lot of that in the last few weeks, but we saw yesterday that Arsenal fans are going to be petty, and I actually understand
it. Started already.
We're going to be, because you saw that, that tackle that I think some could argue is a red. I think it's just not, but I think it was Skip when he caught Martinelli on the ankle. He caught him on the inside of the ankle. Now, listen, I don't think it's a red, but there's an argument for it because of where he caught him and the studs were a bit high. He kind of went over the ball and he caught him. For me, it's at least a yellow for sure. But then immediately after, he kind of kicked the ball away after the ref blew his whistle. Look, for me, that was just a yellow card, move on with the game. But Arsenal fans are going to be petty now and go, hold on, that was a yellow card challenge and he kicked the ball away. Why don't you give a yellow for that too? And we're going to have that because of the precedent they set, because of what Turkish said in the live stream that we did on Monday, whenever it was, that who asked for this rule? Who asked for refs to be super strict on, delaying restarts and kicking balls away and stuff? Now we're going to pick out every single one that didn't happen. I saw tweets. I haven't even seen the incident, but I saw tweets going, hold on, Kovacic just kicked the ball away. He's on a yellow card. Why didn't... I don't want to be talking about these things, but I think we're quite right to be petty about it and go, Robbie, well, what about this one and this one and this one and this one and this one?
Robbie made a really interesting point when he came on my podcast last week, Whisper It Loudly, by the way. Go check it out, all podcast platforms and on YouTube. He made a really good point about the yellow card, the yellow card thing, where he said, this kicking the ball away thing, it's a new rule, and he's confident that they'll eventually phase it out. They often bring in a rule, they go hard on it, and then the next season it's kind of phased out. And the point he was making was that they're going to phase it out because it's not sustainable. Because if you're going to implement this rule, you've got to do it for everybody. If you do it for everybody, you're going to be booking 5-6 players every single match. And that will show referees, look, you can't, this rule is not sustainable. And therefore, Arsenal are going to be the losers because we're the ones that were almost the guinea pigs for it when it came in. We've lost 2 players because of the rule. But Robbie was saying that he reckoned by the end of the season, they're gonna go lenient on it. They may even phase it out. So the rule is going to really, really harm Arsenal if it has already to some degree, which is really unfair on Arsenal.
Exactly.
And if he's right, other teams are going to get away with it because the referee's going to realise this rule is not really sustainable. We can't implement this rule every single game. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, and we will be petty about it because that's what we do.
Can I say something about the referee yesterday? And it's completely off the scale to Oliver because it's different. Like, I thought the referee done all right yesterday. He made mistakes, but he was consistent. Saka went past the number 10 in the first half. He got
consistently crap. Is that what you're saying, Lee?
Well, whatever you want. He didn't book him. You know what I mean? Everybody's screaming, "Oh, it's a booking," but he went, "No, I'll let it go." So then when the opportunity is with a Calafiori or a Skip, because Skip was on a booking when he done Saka right on the edge of the box, he let him go. So I think at the end of the day, I think he was a referee that thought, well, if I go in hard here, it might impact me later on in the game. So I thought he done all right as a referee, like, you know what I mean? There was a couple of mistakes that he made, but I felt he was generally consistent of what he done. Yes, he could have sent off Calafiori, but then when the Leicester manager comes up to him and says, "Well, why didn't you send him off?" He said, "Well, I could have sent off your number 10. I could have sent off Skip, but I didn't." And I felt that he put himself in a position where he could allow, when the game was at its best for the fans and whatever, he could allow a little bit to go. I thought he done all right. Yes, I think the Vardy one could have been a foul, but when I look back on it, there ain't a lot in it. Vardy tries to make a little bit more of it. Okay, he let that one go. But then when you say about the one with Saliba in the free kick, he didn't let it go. I thought, you know, they're not very good, guys. Let's be honest. These refs are not very good. But I don't look at him and go, do you know what? You consistently getting things wrong for one team and not the other. I felt he was consistent.
Fuck them, man. Seriously. Because they're so shit. We have to do 5-minute segments.
Yeah, it's true.
They never hold their hands up for a job. They never speak about hold accountability. Fuck them. That's it.
I actually agree with everything Lee just said, but I also completely agree with you, Turkish. Like, there's not an ounce of accountability ever. So actually, I feel like just going, I don't even want to, because I agree with it. I actually thought the ref was consistent and good yesterday. But I know what you mean. It's like, hold on. Like,
yeah, because I agree, but
yeah, you
don't go do your job.
Interesting. There's no MacBook setting when you do that to the camera. Not a load of middle fingers just popping up in the background.
Sort it out, Apple. Sort it out. And listen, we're already 37 minutes in, and to be honest with you, we can talk about the Leicester goals, but we don't. I don't know. It's not really that It was a great wonder goal from Justin. Let's get that one in there. That was absolutely quality. The cross didn't seem like it was destined for anywhere. One thing, I think we were slow to react to it because it was a floater, but I mean, everything else, what a sweet strike. And aside from that, I don't really have much to say about the Leicester goals. To be honest, I think Vardy was a foul. He just used his experience. He runned across Saliba, and Saliba didn't, see it. He tripped him up. It's a foul. It's not a yellow. He got a yellow, but it was a foul in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't a yellow.
But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I don't really need to dwell on it too much. We had so many chances in that second half that, as long as we got the win, I wasn't going to dwell on those.
We just can't let teams Turkish come to the Emirates and score 2 goals. That just can't happen. Especially teams like Leicester, that can't happen. But yeah, we can move on.
Yeah,
if it's going to happen, I prefer it in that context. Like I said, to feel like how often do they end up in the back of the net, and maybe that's copium on my part. Maybe that's just me making excuse for the team. I think we could have defended both a bit better, but then at the same time, like I said, deflection and volley. I do think though, people might think I got it in for Thomas Partey. I mean, that first half I thought he was good. Man City away, I thought he was man of the match. Like, period, full stop. I felt throughout the whole game he was the best player on the pitch, Thomas Partey. But there were moments in that second half where, if he's not imposing himself on the ball and controlling the game and always being the epicenter through which we constantly play our football, he's not dominating physically. And so in that second half, there was one moment where I think Leicester strung a few passes together and there was this massive gap in midfield. And I was like, where's Partey? And he was in line with the centre-backs. He was running back with the back 5. I thought, you can't do that. Like, we can't have Leicester players just running at us like that. I think he could do more to try and, bust the gut to try and stop the cross, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
He's far too relaxed about it. But then I also think Calafiori should maybe look behind it. But then again, wonder strike, right? I mean, more often than not, no one's really doing too much with that ball or that volley. But there you go. And I think taking him off to get 2 technicians next to Rice to make sure we didn't get overrun in midfield, I think that was a good change from Arteta, though it came too late. But the other thing is, forgetting whether Partey's running it like in the first half or struggling like in the second half, Declan Rice isn't doing it as the 8 right now. I think last season when we were in the run-in, the balance was quite good, but we started conceding chances in that run-in. You think of the 2 at Tottenham we conceded, and games were a little bit more. Even when we beat Chelsea 5-0, they had some chances in that game last season. And when Jorginho's there, I feel like Rice is a little bit closer to him, and therefore we feel like we're not quite as open in midfield, or Jorginho's positioning's a touch better. It could be that too. I just feel long-term when Marino's fit, which, good news, could be next week, which is really interesting. But I mean, I can see Rice and Marino just being that bit more balanced. You're not going to
energy,
run as much.
Do you think, James? It's a good point because I'm thinking why it all went wrong on yesterday a little bit. Like that first half, if you're looking at it, I was looking at a few of the Leicester players and I'm thinking, oh, I don't fancy this. They was running around, the ball was being popped off. Partey was very in that. Like the manager could turn around and go, just keep going because they will give you chances. Is it physically that he faded? He physically fades. Maybe there is a case like then to bring on Jorginho. I don't know, but I don't really know how you can be so dominant in the game of football to just drop off like we did for 10, 20 minutes. And then we got the control back again. And I think physically, he just seems to be a little bit off of it. Like, he's played a lot of games considering, so maybe like, I think like if his physicality goes, and I think it's gone in a couple of games now, we lose control of the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Marino back is very good news. So hopefully, probably won't see him start a game until after international break now, I expect, because another one's coming up real soon. But it would be good to see Partey. I mean, we should never have relied on him this year. That's why, all of these concerns and limitations and that.
I think he's a bit. I think really, Church. At the end of the day, if he becomes a squad player for us, I think it's a bloody good squad player.
Yeah.
I really do. You know what I mean? Like bringing him into games where he can dominate and everything, and then taking him out, not having to play him like 3 games a week is what we're doing at the moment. Like probably like 2 big games. I'm happy with him there. Like, but like take him in and out and. So I think that he's still a valuable part to the squad, but I'm not saying like week in a week's time he's going to be going off to Africa playing 2 games there. Like he's not going to be rested in any of those games, and you know what I mean. Then he's going to come back, and then you've got to go. Oh, we've got to play part. Well, no, when he comes back from those internationals, have a breather, mate. You know what I mean. That's what we've got to do with him.
We have to, and hope for the best because it's already a lot of games for him when you consider the game
he's
time.
More games than he had last season already, hasn't he?
Could be more games for sure. Aside from that, I mean, Havertz got a goal at the end. Should have. I mean, that touch over the defender, that was Bergkamp-esque, and I'm sick of people trying to say Bergkamp or Berbatov with Havertz, but that touch over the defender was beautiful, and then the finish was just so frustrating because you need to bury that, but the touch was so brilliant that I needed to.
Great save, though.
Nah. That
I thought it was a great save.
Well, it is a great. It's point blank range, so it's a great.
He hit that as hard as he could, like I mean, 9 times out of 10 they go in and all that, like, and that was the one when I was on my knees. It ain't going to be our day because I thought he'd done everything right there.
Exquisite touch. You're right, Turkish. I mean, like unbelievably good. It's so funny. I thought he had quite a good game. A lot of I did. I might be wrong. And actually watching it. I'm not sure Trossard was actually necessarily playing midfield yesterday. I think we were quite 4-4-2 because they were both taking turns. And I didn't love that. I mean, yesterday was the first time I had some small criticisms of Arteta. And I always say it with the view of, what do I know about the game? But watching it, I just thought, get Trossard in midfield because that's, he's a technician. Get Havertz running the channels and being a target man and linking play and getting into the box. That's what he's done best in an Arsenal shirt. And there are too many times where Havertz was getting the ball out on the right touchline. I was thinking, I don't need you in Erdegaard's positions. I need you on the end of things. And he was in the end.
One thing I've got to ask, guys, because I'm at the game, how comes it took so long for him to decide that was a goal? Straight away, I said, like, I'm watching it. I was not virtually in love it. I said that the defender played the ball. Why was there such a delay on it? It seemed like ages.
They were making it was an easy one, but they were just
it was an easy one. Like, I mean, I don't know why they made it. Is it just for entertainment? Like, you know what I mean? Like the anxiety, like, you know, for us, because it just go on and on and on. And we was all convinced that their player played the part, like the tackle into him, like, and also Havertz wasn't he? Like, you know, I mean, it's a goal. I just don't know why they just take so much time.
I am weary of time. 45 minutes in, and we haven't moved on yet. And listen, people, we've got about 9 minutes to 9 in the morning on Sunday. So make sure you've hit the like button because we're delivering this bright and early. Jordan's got a podcast to go to after this. James has got football to go to. Lee's got
a reason.
What are you doing after this, Lee? Football's off?
Going back to bed.
Oh, going back to bed. Okay, there you go.
I ain't got football this week. I've got a game. My back's not quite right, but next week I'll be chomping at the bit to get out as well, like, you know.
Okay, well, there you go, people. Make sure we get to 1,000 likes and let's keep it moving into PSG. Before we move on to PSG, a reminder, AFTV Plus is the app and the Fourever Predictor is inside that app. What is the Fourever Predictor? You join us in predictions. If you watch the Forever Arsenal podcast, you know we predict every single Arsenal game, every single one from Premier League through to the Carabao Cup. So you can join us in that journey now. You can compete with us. You can compete with each other. I think there was over 300 signups already for the first game we could predict, which was the last one. So make sure you keep on. What's Lee shaking his head about?
300 of them in there. 300 of them there thinking that they know what they're doing. Like, not
rubbish.
They're rubbish. Not one of them predicted the result. What's a load of old wankers? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Oh, great.
Let's be honest.
Thanks for playing the game with us, guys.
Yeah. Well, I do better, like, you know what I mean? Like, giving you predictions, like, you know. It ain't easy, lads.
Sit down, shut up. Sit down, shut up. Sit down, shut up.
It's not easy, I tell you, like, you know. 300 and not one got it right. Come on.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and show that love.
Yeah.
But yeah, join us, Forever Predictor on the AFTV Plus app. We've got PSG. I mean, it's a weird one. Usually PSG is a blockbuster. Usually, you know, it'd be eagerly anticipated. This one's kind of coming in under the radar. PSG a very much changed outfit from what they was 3-4 years ago with a front three of Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar. But they still pose a threat. And is there anything interesting people would do going into this one, or would it be, you know, all like for like as long as no one's back? Or Jorginho for Partey?
I'd go same 11 only because I think that first half deserved for that same 11 to go out there again and see if they can.
Do you think though they will try and freshen it up for the Southampton game then, or do you think there could be a couple of? I noticed Man City made a few changes yesterday.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did.
I think.
I noticed that too.
I think.
Do we keep going with the same 11, or do we? When do we need to freshen it up? Like, I don't know.
I think for the Southampton game, you're going Nwanyeri, Sterling, and Ben White maybe come into the team, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know about Sterling yet. But...
Is this one are we almost, maybe not yet, but almost in must-win territory because we didn't win the first game?
Got to win your home games.
Win your home games, yeah.
Win your home games.
Yeah, it feels like we probably, should really be getting a win out of this because, we were very kind about the Atalanta draw. We didn't play very well that game going forward at all. We respected that in the context of the other games around it. Defensively, we did our job. We picked up a point. But we didn't play that well. Yeah, we were all very kind about it, right? But, with the view of, okay, now, these home games, albeit is PSG, got to lift it a bit now.
I'll be honest, I'll give the team, the players, the manager a complete let-off because it was awful, the Atalanta game. But because it was in between Spurs and Man City, it was a free ride for me. But this one isn't. This is now home. Got to. If you're going to make a mark in Europe, you've got to start winning, first of all, at home, because it's a fortress and everything like that. But you're playing one of the big boys. Put them to the sword.
I think Lee's point about Man City, I noticed as well that they rotated some of their players for what was a big game away at Newcastle. And I think that, Phil Foden's still not started a Premier League game this season. So they're clearly thinking about the long game, Manchester City.
Yeah, exactly that.
We're going to need you, Phil, for the second half of the season when it really matters. I think we need to keep an eye on that because Partey, we've said that he played 3 games in a week, did really well. He wasn't great in the second half yesterday. Do we take him out because we're going to need Partey after Christmas? And do we start managing his minutes? Or do we think that we do need to win this game and therefore he's a better option to win this game than Jorginho? I don't know. I guess I'm asking questions rather than giving answers, but I'm kind of stuck between the thinking about the second half of the season and keeping the squads fresh for then, but also not focusing too far away from, I always say it, the most important game is your next game. And that's Paris. So I don't know.
We ain't got the depth. We ain't got the depth to do what City do, though. Unless we're talking defensively, saving defenders for
the drop points because of it yesterday. You could argue, though.
Yeah, I mean, the De Bruyne and Rodri out as well. I mean, that's a massive blow. If they do face impact from that, it's up to us to take advantage now. But in terms of saving players, I don't think we left our squad in a big enough shape to rest key players so early in the season. You rest a few and you drop points. I mean, it was only a couple of weeks ago we said if we lose at Etihad, it might be too far gone. So
do we start with Rice, Jorginho, and Trossard? Is that a midfield 3 that wins the game?
Any midfield 3 should win the game for us.
I'll go Partey.
Yeah, that's
Partey,
the one.
Rice, Trossard.
I'll go Jorginho just to give Partey the,
Yeah, fair.
I think I would too.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm quite agree with that. Like, you know what I mean? Just give him the freshen it up a little bit. And he's a quality player, Jorginho. I don't think that, there's too much of a drop off. If I'll be honest.
Okay, let's bring up the prediction table. No change because everyone just gets a point for the correct result. No one got the correct prediction. James is on 10 points. Jordan and Lee tied in second on 9 points each, and I'm in last on 4 points. No correct scores, lagging.
We was all agreeing someone's going to get it right this week. Someone was going to get it right, and no one did. It's incredible, isn't it? Incredible.
Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it? James, top of the league prediction. PSG.
Oh, PSG. Interesting. I'm going to go 2-0.
Oh, yes.
2-0. He's not happy. Jordan?
I'm going to go 2-0 as well. Yeah, I'm going 2-0 too.
Yeah, so there's 2-0s there. Lee?
I was going to go 2-0. I'll go 2-1 then. I don't want to, but I'll go 2-1.
2-1. 2-0, 2-0, 2-1. I'm going to go 3-1. Mix it up a little bit.
That'd be a nice statement win that in Europe. I'd like that. 3 goals against PSG.
2-0. I'd like 2-0, but more of a statement win.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Give me some clean sheets, man.
Yeah.
Why not? That's our predictions. Your predictions, AFTV Plus app, Fourever predictor. Go put them in time for the game. That'll be ready tomorrow, people. If you're watching this bright and early today, it might not be ready just yet, but make sure you refresh the app and they'll be ready.
And the ones who are on note, you better, and there's a few of you, you know who you are on note. You need to get this one right.
Who's on note?
Or Lee's coming for you.
He's talking about the predictor league.
You're on the predictor thing that got naught.
Who?
I don't know. I don't know their names. Don't know them personally, but they're in there. If you're on the app.
I thought you had the list of people.
There's a few on naught. They need to improve.
I thought you were sending mad messages to Turkish there.
No. Turkish got a point because he's he is the reign. He's the king, but he's just not quite at his game at the moment, is he? Like,
Lee wants something Turkish.
On getting
on his comment. That's what he's already telling us. He's coming in with a shit comment.
No, he's just concentrating on.
I've never heard that in my life.
He's concentrating on his timekeeping. That's why he's letting himself down in the predictions. You know what I mean? Like,
the king. I'm telling you, he's coming in with the worst comment of the day of all time right now.
Let's get onto it. Let's get onto the comments of the day. Who's ready?
Can I go first? Just where I got a very, very quick story. I was in Manchester yesterday, Friday night, came back Saturday morning on the train, and an Arsenal fan recognized me from the pod, and he was on his way actually to the game. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, mate, you're in my seat." And he was like, "Oh, no. I'll show him his phone, his ticket." He's like, "No, but I've shown him my phone. This is my seat." So he was kind enough to get out of the seat. I got in the seat. Cool. He was going to go somewhere else, and then another guy came and was like, bit of a kerfuffle as well. Anyway, it turns out that we had the same seat. We thought double booking at the same seat. I was on the wrong train. I was on a train too. I was on the next train. So this poor guy was kind enough to like be like, no, it's fine. You have it. And I was like, yeah. I'm right. I was like, what train are you on? And I checked and I was like, I'm on the next train. Sorry, mate. So anyway, big up that Arsenal fan. Didn't get his name, but big up yourself.
Just got his seat.
Reminds me of that time reminds me of the time someone didn't take their money from the cash machine, so you graciously gave it to some other bloke.
Oh yeah,
I gave it to the Oh yeah.
Here you go. It's not mine.
I'm a good guy. But I do have 2 comments. A couple quick ones. Please make Jordan do a watch long so we have undeniable evidence that he watched an Arsenal game live. And I am doing a watch along in a couple of weeks, I believe, with some of you guys. So that'll be proof. I do watch all the Arsenal games. And the other one I've got here is Jordan's contributions are like early days of Xhaka performances. 1 minute he's giving a stunner with an opinion of why Trossard needs to start, but the next he's having a howler calling Bolton goalkeeper an Arsenal goalkeeper. Mostly he's having howlers. Something to kid ourselves. Well, I was trying to say the narrative last year was that if we had Xhaka, we'd have won the league. So if you get rid of me, I just want to say the pod basically will crumble and possibly die. So if the Xhaka analogy is to be continued, we all take Xhaka now, wouldn't we? Oh, well, there you go. So, to all those people that want me out of the team,
I wouldn't.
Just be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
I like a challenge, so yeah, that one's quite nice already. Any applications for the 4th panel member for 25-26 forever? Yeah, you might
Applications are open.
That'll be on
the comments
next. You send in your CVs through the app, and we're good. Cool. Lee, have you found one yet?
Yes. Sterling took Lee's shocking Sterling comments personally. Is one, but I've got another one.
Some scrapping comments of the day.
Turkish love for the love. Jordan, just one last thing. Lee, I'll be honest. I get everybody keeps coming up to me now and going, Lee, I'll be honest. What's all that about? And James giving the thumbs up, great show, lads.
He actually flew into the worst.
I am looking for. No, I think they're very good. The Sterling one, because I was calling him shocking Sterling. He produced a good performance against Bolton. Let's have it that way at Bolton.
Yep.
And let's hope he does watch Forever Arsenal. He's loving Arsenal at this moment in time. He's Raheem. He may be watching this. You never know.
Whatever. Turkish, you go for it, man. I'm sick of this guy.
You're sick of
him. I can't wait for your one, then. I can't wait for your one.
I've known him a couple of years longer than you. Imagine how I feel. I had a full head of hair before knowing Lee, but here I am.
Come on in, let's have them.
I've got a few. Robert said Turkish is dodgier than a Man City lawyer. Red Wolf said Lee's first comment of the day was typical Arsenal dark hearts, like it is again right now. So that's two good ones there already.
Yeah, I looked at them.
And I've got this one from Gunnar Ram said Lee's opinions have rapidly gone downhill. Lee's opinions have rapidly gone down the gutter. Man is speaking like he's PR for the club. I like that one. I actually put a love heart by that one.
Big accusation, that.
Yeah. He's right, though.
You see, now I've got that comment out and I've sent for Lee. He's going to do proper research into the next comment of the day. He's going to be like, let me get
Yes, you're right. You're right. He's going to come for all the Turkish slander.
Yes, I'll be looking through, scrolling through next week.
So my comment of the day is from Ryan Wilson. It says James's face when Turkish said we should sell Porter looked like he was being shown a video of Wynn being run over. I watched it back. I was shocked. Oh, you're serious? I was like, bloody hell.
Yeah. That's a good comment, by the way. Very good comment.
Yeah, not bad. So I need to just apologize. I was on the watch along yesterday and you guys sent some super chats in towards the end, but as you can imagine, it was very tense and I wasn't looking at my laptop, so I forgot to read them out. So I just want to really, really quickly address some of them because he did all send them in, and I'm sorry that they went completely ignored. Just very quickly, Black Hole was talking about, all right, Leaf, look at the disrespect. You guys see that?
He's learned to turn the camera off. He's not going to
That's
stop.
not what I've ordered.
Good.
Yeah.
The podcast just got infinitely better in the on the hour mark. Did you guys see that Tottenham tweet about with 10 men we still play our football?
Embarrassing.
Yeah,
Embarrassing.
That's what Black Hole was saying. He said, don't fall for it. They're just rattled. Imagine Spurs official would actually post something like that, making a big fool of themselves.
But
Ray
James, sorry, James, cut you there. Sorry, but just on that tweet, what was more embarrassing was the Spurs fans that were actually like endorsing it and quote tweeting it. It's like if anything, that tweet makes you look like a really, really small club. It's not something you want to be retweeting and sharing.
It's just them, mate.
It's
just them, mate.
So bad.
You gotta respect that they own it, that they're small.
Oh, mate.
Ray with the super chat. Ray wasn't impressed with Saka. Just said a lot of selfishness from Saka in that second half. He said, I actually thought Saka was good in the game. X gave Nicholas Yover a 10 out of 10. Again, another set piece getting us out. Tony saying Nwanyeri has to start now. We definitely talked about that. Got a lot of likes for that. Esteban, no comment, but super chat. Thank you very much. Sam agreeing that he doesn't care about the opponent. Ethan deserves to start. And then Rhoda, this last one, he said, James, you're complaining about the 7 minutes against City last week. Hope you're happy this week. To be honest, I have to say, like, I don't know where 7 minutes came from yesterday. I thought that was very generous, but fine. What goes around comes around. So, yeah, it evened itself out. There we go. So thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I missed them, people.
7 minutes was about right, James. Their goalkeeper went down for a couple of minutes, substitutions, couple of injuries. I thought that, done it right. Done it right last week, done it right this week.
All right, fair enough then. Then it all worked out.
That goalkeeper pulled off a Schmeichel special yesterday, pulling off saves left, right, and centre. He was on the road to being a man of the match. But
that header, by the way, from Calafiori and the save. I'll tell you what, I watched that back yesterday. That's unbelievable. So he's only about 5 yards out, Calafiori, and he heads that proper. Don't
forget the Trossard one as well. When he gave it away, the keeper gave it away to
yeah.
Straight point blank range, blazed it, but he made safe fingertips away. But yeah, he wasn't man of the match. We won the game 4-2, 3 points in the bag. PSG next. We'll be back after the PSG game and before the Southampton game. So I think PSG is Tuesday, so we'll be back on Wednesday, people. If you're subscribed, you'll already know, notification bell on. Has this video hit 1,000 likes? But the community are saying 2,000 is the fogging standards. That was another comment I had there. So if 2,000 standards, let's hit 2,000, people, and make sure you're here back on Tuesday for the watch-alongs and so on, and back on Wednesday with another Fourever Arsenal plot. Download the AFTV Plus app. Love for the love as always. We're out, people. Peace.